Hey everybody, it's me, Christian Jackson, coming to you from my comfy, cozy bed on a Friday night to watch the recent episode of season 16 of Married at First Sight. Yes, there will be spoilers. I am here to just break it down because I'm qualified to do so as a fan, as a licensed therapist, and the daddy issues therapist. You know, the goal is just for you to see your daddy issues through my eyes or mommy issues. Take your pick. So, welcome to this 10-minute pop culture segment where I break down these couples that we have been watching for the last 12 episodes. Let's get into it. And don't forget, Black women matter. So, we're getting into the recap. Clint and Gina getting closer. Nicole and Chris are cute. It was the month anniversary last time we got together. And, we have a couple couples that are a little rocky. Y'all know how much I love and cape for Black love. Our Black and brown couples, they ain't really hidden this season. There are struggles. Girl, what is the rave about goat yoga? I just want to say I think it's really sweet that Nicole is trying to involve her dad to get to know her husband. But if dad is not supportive of this experiment, take what he's giving you, okay? He's showing you what he thinks. He's not down. So don't force it. Just be natural. What? Jumping on my back? Oh. Manage your expectations, sis, okay? She says she wants dad to be supportive of him, me, and the process. Dad is not in this thing with you necessarily the way that you are. So we can't just expect that people are going to be okay with the way we do life. Then you get set up for disappointment. That part about her being afraid of vulnerability, probably learned that with her dad. Okay, so there was a shift between her and dad. They were close when she was younger. Mom and dad divorced. Interestingly enough, there's research that says that there is a discomfort between dads and daughters because of the shift that happens in puberty. And so it tracks that he said that she was different. She was difficult when she was a teenager. She was obviously trying to find herself, but I imagine because he said she had to sleep on the couch, he didn't really have a place for her. So what does that say about her valuing herself in his world if he didn't provide that for her? Listen, that was my experience too. My daddy didn't have nowhere for me to go, but he moved his girlfriend in at the time. That's a whole different story. It's in my book, CaptureChristian.com. It's fine. All right, looks like goat yoga worked. When the experts come through, I really be tuned in. Dr. Pepper said, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto themselves." I got to rewind that part. I don't get it. Children of divorce, living in two households, maybe just the one, but still somebody's falling through the cracks. Usually the child who is tasked with adult responsibilities, inappropriate responsibilities, with an underdeveloped perception of things. Kids don't have the capacity. We didn't understand why mommy and daddy split. Some of us blamed ourselves. And it made for a very hyper independent, closed off, fearful, avoidant personality for some people. That's what it looks like for Kirsten. Okay then, it makes sense. Oh, Shaquille ain't know his daddy until he was 17? Oh, Lord. No wonder. Self-esteem was not fundamental for that guy. Mom did what she could. She worked all these hours, provided, but did not really, provide the emotional support he needed. Y'all, we out here parenting with no handbook. We do the best we can. That empathy piece is important when we are trying to work through mommy and daddy issues, because he says he's had conversations with them and now they're working on chemistry. They have like emotional walls on both sides, right? So it's hard to build that connection, but it sounds like they're open to it. Dr. Pepper's pulling it out of them. I love it. And at the conclusion of that segment, it looks like Shaquille's going to listen to Kirsten's plea for intimacy. She's telling him what she wants. She's outright saying it, and he has not been meeting the need. So let's see. Girl, Jasmine is laying it out here. She said Dr. Pepper, I just started loving myself. She had a shift in her life early on where she moved and she didn't feel like she can fit in at that time. She did a lot of work on herself, and when Eris said he wasn't necessarily attracted to her, it brought up all that old stuff. And it sucks when you feel like you have taken steps back. Dr. Pepper hit it with the, it's not about you, sis. She really just asked the question, have you thought about that it's not all about you? And that is a valid question that I think a lot of us take offense to. And what she is trying to do is help Jasmine step out and take a more objective view in her marriage, of her marriage with her husband. Because the same way she wants him to be vulnerable with her, in order for him to open up, she also has to create a space for him to be able to do that. And if she steps out and thinks about, hey, maybe this is not really about me, right? As far as like, he's doing this to hurt me kind of thing. If she can do that, step back, she can consider this could be scary for him too. And not just see his discussion about sex to be super surface level, right? I think that if she did take a step back, she'd be able to learn a lot more about him and kind of look past those behaviors. Not to say he doesn't want sex, but still, she could see him as a whole person if she stepped back. Blow after blow of grief. Ooh, Eris. Especially as his dad. I don't know what his relationship was like with his dad before he died. But of course there's a fear of intimacy. When you get close to someone and afraid that they're going to die, that's been his narrative this whole time. So that makes sense. All right, daddy's girls. Now, Jasmine didn't say she was a daddy's girl, but she mentioned having both parents and not having the exposure to problem solving. This is why it's okay for you to argue in front of your kids to an extent. Okay, if you're going to do that, then I think family discussions are important too. Like my husband and I do that. We get the kids together. We ask them what they saw, what they heard. They watch us yell. They watch us resolve it. They watch us not resolve it all in one night, right? It's this skill set that is important for Jasmine to have had if she got to watch her parents resolve the conflict. She said this is why she thinks she wasn't able to communicate in her relationships before. Now she's married, so she wants the marriage, so it kind of has to happen. Jasmine, why are you not answering these questions? I mean, I know why you're not answering the questions, and this is what I have to suggest to you guys. If you are trying to dig deep with your partner, a friend, one of your kids, it's a give or take, okay? You got to get rid of the block, address the block at least. If the block is something that you're afraid of, consider, what is my fear? What do I think will happen if I answer this question, if I do this thing? Because you're going to get nowhere like that. I don't know if Clint and Gina going to make it, y'all. They're both fighting each other real hard. I think the most unfair thing about anxiety is that we can have anxiety about being happy. Like, I'm happy, but I'm sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, that's annoying. So Gina asked the question because her dad wasn't there. If dad didn't make the effort, why would any other man? Why would I trust men? It sounds cliche, but I need y'all to know that's a real thing. Oh, that's so sweet. Looks like Kirsten and Shaquille are getting closer. This is amazing. They've done some effort or made some effort to get closer. So it wasn't just about the physical piece. It definitely happened naturally. I'm here for it. Overall, we have seen the importance of vulnerability, the fear associated with vulnerability, and I hope you're taking away from it that it is important, it's necessary. And maybe you could just start safe. Start with yourself. If you don't want to do it with someone else, then journaling is a great way to do that. And now we just wait for decision day. What do y'all think? Season 16, Married at First Sight, episode 12. This is a good one.